As you can see, I've done a little traveling. I'm over at Newcastle University in England, and today I'm going to show you the parts of Microscope and demonstrate how to look at a prepared slide. So right here you're seeing the side view of a microscope. Up here we have the eyepiece, which has an ocular lens, something called a body tube. Down here we have a revolving nose piece. Attached to it are three lenses called objective lenses. They're different lengths. The longer they are, the more magnification they can do. Then we have a stage. On top of the stage are stage clips. Right underneath the stage is an iris to regulate how much light comes in, just like the iris in your eye. Then I have a lamp or a light right here, and a light control there, and two very important knobs. The coarse adjustment knob, you should be able to see it move the stage a long way up and down, and the fine adjustment knob. So those are the parts, and now we have to show you how we use these different parts as we look at a prepared slide. So, prepared slide is going to consist of a very thin section of specimen on a piece of thin glass with something called a cover slip on top. Whenever we use a compound microscope, we're passing light through the specimen, and that means our specimen has to be thin or we won't see anything. So first I've got to put the specimen on the stage and get it clipped in with the stage clips, and then I've got to move. There's more knobs to control where the stage is, and I'm just going to turn it this way to make it easier for me, and also you'll be able to see what's going on with the different parts. When I look through a microscope like this, I'm only going to use one eye, but I'm going to keep both eyes open. And to focus, I'm on the shortest lens, the red one, and that's low power. And that means I always should store it like this, and I should always start it like this because it's short. I'm not likely to break it if I run into my specimen or the stage. So now I start moving it until something comes into focus. And right now I'm looking at a cross-section of fern, and it's been stained purple, and I'm seeing green parts and purple parts. And it actually is quite artistic. And I'm probably seeing all kinds of cells there. Now it's quite well focused, but once I focus on low power with a coarse adjustment knob, with that knob I never use it again. Any focusing I do with the higher power objective lenses, I'll use the fine adjustment knob. So now I'll move from the red lens, there's a little yellow band, I move to the medium power. And now I only use the fine adjustment knob until it comes into focus for my old eyes. And now what happens is my field of view has gotten smaller because I'm seeing smaller area in more detail. It's more magnified. So anytime I go up in power, I've got to make sure things are in the middle that I want to see, because they'll disappear as I go to higher power if they're off to the side. Now, sometimes the high power will fit, sometimes it won't. In this case, it fit. And I have to make sure I don't touch the coarse. I'm only using the fine adjustment. Now it's in focus. Things have got a little dimmer. So I'll just turn up the brightness a bit, or I could open up the iris some more. And now I'm seeing things in a lot more detail. Now, how does the magnification work? Well, up here, this is always 10 times for the eyepiece, and we never change that. Low is 4, so 10 times 4 is 40 times. Yellow is 10, so 10 times 10 would be 100 times magnification. And when I go back to this longest one, that one happens to be 40, so 40 times 10 is 400 times. So this microscope is able to magnify things up to 400 times. Now once I'm done with a specimen, I'm immediately going to put it back to low power, the shortest lens. I'll open up the clip, take the prepared slide off, and then everything's ready to look at another slide. And you go through the same procedure. Start with a coarse adjustment on low, never touch it again as you go to medium and high. So that's how you deal with a microscope, and hopefully that's making sense.